What is up, y'all? I'm Patrick. You know what channel you're watching. Been a minute. I haven't had the time to get out here. The weather has been crappy. But I have been back on the project bike. I know a lot of these pictures look all the same. That when you do something like this, everything is so slow. So slow. Let me pull this off of here and set it over there. As you can see, I've been welding and grinding on the tank for Slim Shady. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day. Couldn't hope for better weather. The guy that sold me the donor bike actually came through, and he seen me grinding on the tank and whatnot, and he came over, and I had showed him the drawing of what my plans were, and I don't know, I guess he thought I was full of shit, but and I was telling him the original plan was to make this down tube, this long tube, the gas tank, but it just simply does not hold enough. I mean, I don't want to stop at every single gas station I see. It holds less than a half a gallon. It might look cool, but very, very impractical, which led me to the creation of this whack-ass, crazy, angular gas tank. But, man, anytime you weld sheet metal, I don't know if you can see, but you gotta weld like a little here, a little here, a little here, a little here. It's very, very time consuming. Very, very, very fucking tedious. It's like I stitch the top, then I roll it. Sorry, shitty camera work. And then I stitch the bottom. And then I stitch the face. You know, and then I turn it around and I stitch the back of it. It is very, very, very time consuming. But if you don't want to warp a sheet metal panel, that's the way it has to be done. When you're welding thick metal, man, you just let that shit rip. You just burn it in. But when you're welding sheet metal, you have to take your time. It is so time consuming. But the end result, a lot of my grinding is putting some waves in. I can feel them. I do professional wood finish for a living, so I use my hands a lot. So when I run my hand over something, even if my eye don't see it, my hand can feel that imperfection. Your sense of touch is honestly a lot stronger than your sense of vision. But it's coming together pretty good. I don't want to show you guys a bunch of the same shit over and over and over and over. I was actually, there's my stupid ass dog. I was actually going to show you guys some of the actual welding, but my neighbor came over and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to hang out, you know, don't stop work on my account." And I'm like, "Okay." So I kept working, and after about 10 minutes of watching, he's like, "Hey bro, I'm going to head home." I want to show the work, but it's so tedious. I feel like I'll be just like boring the living crap out of y'all. And I don't want to do that. I feel I'm better served showing you the object before I mess with it, then mess with it, and then show you the aftermath, and then tell you how I came about that. There's Truck. That's my boy. He's a good dog, but he's not a good dog. He's a dick. He never listens to anything. He's like me. Maybe that's why we get along. Go get him, boy. He's off and running. But the guy that sold me the project popped in on me. You know, we're not necessarily friends, but there he is. But he liked it, which honestly, that's here nor there to me, if he liked it or not. He gave up on it. I bought the shit. And like I said, I don't want to show you guys the same shit over and over and over, but the tank is almost done. I've got an idea for the gas cap. It's obviously not going to be just a bullshit plain ass round gas cap. You know, this bike is all about angles and, you know, square tubing and angles, and everything's angular. I'm really thinking about just getting rid of those stock round fork tubes and build my own Springer front end out of all angular material. I know that sounds ambitious, but I've built a Springer front end before, but it was for a bicycle. And I'm sure I could do the same thing for this motorcycle. I don't know if that's what I really want to commit to. Jesus Christ, dog. But that is what I'm thinking. It's like when I get this bike far enough down the road, them tube forks are going to look out of place. Everything else is square tubing, angular frame, and just angular gas tank. Everything is square and angular, and I got these round everyday fork tubes. I mean, I've even thought about doing something about the handlebars. You know, do something out of square tubing for handlebars, which means reworking the headsets to accept a square bar, which I can easily do. But it's the details make the project. When everything push comes to shove, the details make the project. And I got all these crazy ideas in my head, but they all add to the length of the build. Excuse me. And I don't want to show you guys the same shit over and over and over. But, you know, let me know what you think, man. Am I losing it, or am I onto something? I definitely think an angular front set of forks, you know, some sort of Springer, goddamn bugs, some sort of Springer front end made out of angular tubes. I'm actually thinking, looking around for some square springs to fit the attitude of the bike. Yeah, definitely not sure on the handlebars. Again, not sure on the seat. I got a good idea for the back fender. Basically, what I would have is something that goes across here and comes flat up to about here. Sorry, shitty camera work. And then do a piece that starts here and comes up and wedges to the end of the fender. I don't know if I'm displaying that properly, but starts about that wide and then comes up to a tip to the end of the fender. So what you would have would be a flat part and then an angular piece on each side that would come up, and basically you would have that flat with that angled edge in a wedge shape on each side. I hope I'm not flubbing this, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. I do like the... I was up in the air about the sissy bar with no back seat, but God, everybody is doing it. And a lot of bikes look really cool that way. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with her, or if I would just do it for aesthetics. But I am thinking about some sort of sissy bar frame support that would, well, like I said, the fender would consist of that middle piece, and then from this angle it would get smaller as it comes up, and then probably in that area on the same degree as the front fork, which I think is, I checked it and I think it's 30 degrees, but I would want this back sissy bar to mimic that front fork line. Even if I do a Springer front end for this bike, it's going to have the exact same geometry. That's not going to change. I just think the round tube forks look funny on this bike, which is all angular. You know, even the mag wheels are angular. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now, is a short fender up to about here, and do a little side piece that comes up and goes to a point that welds on each side of that fender. So you get what I'm saying. Come up to about here, almost look like an angular wave, and have that sharp edge on this side, that sharp edge on that side, keeping with that angular thing, and use those solid pieces of bar stock to come up, do a fender support. I want to do some, if I do bring it up over the tire, I mean, some guys bring it way up. I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm not sure what I want to do, man. And honestly, any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. But it's got to be angular. It can't just be like straight up and then go to a point. That don't really suit the bike. It's got to be, I might even put some kind of crazy geometrical design, you know, cut pieces and weld them to make it look like one of them Jackson Pollock photos, to where, you know, when you look at it, it kind of flips. I might be talking shit, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. But the tank is going good. It's almost done. It's been a good day. Beautiful, beautiful day, man. It really has. I watched my last video. I was very repetitious. I kept saying, oh, I didn't do this, so I did that. I didn't do this, so I did that. And I'm like, man, that sucks. Don't do another video where you just keep repeating the same shit over and over. So I'm trying to keep it fresh. There's my boy. Big truck. Go get him, killer. Get him, boy. Yeah, he doesn't listen to anything I say. Anyway, the tank is coming along, man. It's a lot of small welds plus grinding, and then small welds and then grinding, because I can't warp any of this. I mean, none of these edges are going to be razor sharp, which they are kind of sharp at this point. But the point is, I want it to keep its geometric shape, but I don't want it to be like edgy. I'm gonna break all these edges. Paint does not cling to razor sharp edges. It just don't happen. When I start to paint this bike, man, you guys are gonna be floored. Because for one, I'm gonna do it with these bullshit ass $10 Harbor Freight spray gun. That's a $10 Harbor Freight spray gun right there. $10 gun. Anybody can afford a $10 spray gun. You don't have to use a spray gun. You can get incredible finishes out of can paint, but the last coat you put on is what's going to define the paint job. And not a lot of can paints stand up to gasoline. So what you got to do is, despite whatever you use for all that painting, you got to put a good top coat on it. To my knowledge, 2K Clear is the best going top coat you can get in a can. It is a two-part paint product where you have to pop something on the bottom of the can, which adds the catalyst to the paint, which is just like a professional paint. If you put a professional paint in a cup, you have to add catalyst to it. That's what makes the paint get hard. That's a chemical process. Can paints, they don't do that. They rely on time. They're pre-catalyzed. So they have to dry for a long time before you can put clear coat on them. Before they'll stand up to gas or anything else, they have to dry incredibly long. Whereas a catalyzed product, it hardens from a chemical process. That's the difference between can paint and professional paint. One of them is pre-catalyzed. It's meant to sit on a shelf forever and not go bad. It will harden eventually, but it's not like on a professional level. Post-catalyzed, where you add the hardener, that makes a professional finish because it will stand up to gasoline, heat, dirt, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Y'all are going to see all that. When I start painting this thing, I will get deep into all that. But for now, if you're just a hobby guy and you want to paint your shit, you can use spray cans and paint that shit all day long. What really matters is your top coat. And you can get 2K Clear, which is a catalyzed product in a spray can. You don't need a compressor. You don't need a professional gun. You can get professional top coat in a spray can at this point. And 2K Clear is a badass product. I do have a compressor. It's not a huge one. It's good for painting and small stuff. Well, more than small stuff, but basically that's the point. Is if you're gonna paint something, you can paint it with whatever you want, but let that shit cure. Let it cure before you put any kind of top coat on it. Let it cure all the way through. And if you want a professional finish, put a good top coat on it. Put a post-catalyzed top coat. It's going to stand up for you against the weather or against gas, anything like that. Whereas the regular shit out of a can, it looks beautiful, it will do, but it will not stand up to like gasoline. I did my buddy's bike with Duplicolor products from the automotive shop. Duplicolor products. Professional level paint is what it says on the can. And their paints are beautiful. They work great. I got no bitch about that. But their clear coat, yeah, man, it's pre-catalyzed and it's like everything else. It won't, unless you let it cure for like a couple months, it will not stand up to gasoline. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I'm itching. The damn bugs are. It's getting dark. The bugs are getting bad. Oh shit. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm nowhere near the painting point yet. Shit. This thing is turning out really, really nice. You hear the magnets. But let me scoot that up a bit. It is looking really, really good, guys. I've got some more welding to do on the frame. The gas tank looks awesome. I'm so happy with it. It's not quite done yet, but it's close. It's close. Man, I work 6 days a week. I don't get a lot of free time. And when the weather sucks, I can't set up my weld shop outside the shop. When I weld in the shop, shit catches on fire, and I don't want to burn my house down, so I don't do that. So every day I can set up my little mini shop outside the shop. Works great, and I get a lot done. And again, I know this is like a lot of the same old shit, and I appreciate you guys tolerating it. For all you people that have came on recently, I appreciate you. Nothing but the greatest. Love and respect. This is crookeder than a dog's dick. To all my guys that have been here this whole time, you already know. Y'all are my OG guys. Love and respect. Nothing but the deepest to all you guys. You know, I want to do a bunch of shout outs, but God, so many people have came on. And I know some have left, and that's okay. But so many people have came on. Wow, it's going to take me a minute to do a shout out video. But that's the gist of it. Oh, look at the reflection. But it's going good. It feels good. It's looking good. It's so time consuming. The weather sucks balls. I got a set on it. Oh, hell yeah. Crotch shot. That's for Holler Moto. Crotch shot. I'm feeling it, man. I don't need my feet don't need to be way out in front of me. If I had an actual seat, this would be better, because right now my ass cheeks are on the back tire, and the damn frame is disrespecting my nutsack. Sorry to be blatant like that, but this feels good, man. I like this. This feels really good. You see what I'm saying? Again, I ain't gonna worry about the camera flip thing. See that shit right there? I'm gonna delete that. Fuck the gauges. Fuck the ignition. I'm gonna relocate it down here under my side to where I put the key in. Again, I'm not sure about these bars. They're there for now. I'm about to flip this camera, and hopefully I don't ruin this, but this is what I'm talking about right here. That's the tank. I'm probably ruining this, but check it out. I like this, man. This feels good. I don't know what you're seeing or if I'm totally wrecking this shit, but check it all out. I like it, man. It's banging. It feels good. I like it. It's not done yet, but it's getting there. This is totally weirding me out. I gotta turn this around. But I like it, y'all. It's going good. It is getting late. As always, you see, it's dark out here. You know, all my free time is after hours. You know, I work 6 days a week. But I don't think so. No, I'm good. Go ahead. That was my stepdaughter. I have a small house, so everybody has to ask if anybody needs to go to the bathroom before somebody showers. Anyway, what the hell? Why did it just darken? I hope this ain't about to die. It might be. Anyway, let me get off here before it goes completely dead. Sorry, guys. But you get the gist. Nothing but love and respect. Peace, y'all.